Hello, my friends. Welcome in. This is going to be a different kind of video today. I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully, you'll hear me out. I have some massive news. Like makes me smile bigger than Jurgen Klopp. Um, why did I do that? You have changed my life, and I just want to say thanks. Let me explain. This involves some maths, as I think they call it over on the other side of the pond. We call it math here, but apparently it's maths. So please hang with me as we walk through the math or maths, the computations, the explanation. My wife is a stay-at-home mom to our two amazing kids that we homeschool because we are maniacs, clearly. She loves it. We love it. It's a really, overall, a really great fit for our family. And I've said it before. I honestly feel like she works harder than I do. She used to work for full time, and then I don't know what it's like anywhere else, but where we live in the United States, the income she was earning full time in her former role, essentially, she could have worked 40 hours a week or more than that and put our kids in daycare where someone else was raising them, and we would have, after you take you pay all your taxes and you pay for the daycare for your kids, we would have made like $300 a month. And it's like, I worked 4 weeks for more than 40 hours a week. I had to get up early and drop my kids up early and whatever, and I only really made like $300, and I gave the rest to the daycare company. It just wasn't worth it. So that's one of the reasons we went the way we did. So she's a stay-at-home mom, and my career income, which, curious if you think with 5,700 subscribers, this is my career income. It's not. Not to degrade that. That's actually what this video is about. But my career income, my job, provides for our family to live and such, right? Like, puts a roof over our heads, food on the table, and it's great. Like, we got no problems there. But there is one problem with her staying at home, and I think it's a U.S. problem, a United States problem. And we're trying to solve that problem. And that problem is, how do we protect ourselves from the hopefully never going to happen horrible situation of her becoming disabled? Disability could happen from a medical issue or a car wreck or any number of horrible things where suddenly, she needs additional medical care and assistance and help, throughout the day, right? Or it could be something minor, but we're trying to protect against the catastrophic things in life, right? So my employer provides disability insurance that would, provide a stream of income to us if something happened to me, right? Like, if I was in a bad car wreck and still kicking but unable to work, we're going to need income. Well, that's what my employer's disability insurance provides, because I've got an employer. And we also have life insurance, right? So if one of us dies unexpectedly, it's almost like that would take care of we'd get a lump sum of money. But disability in some ways, from the financial aspect, is worse, because it would likely, the disability we're trying to protect against. And I really hope you all don't think I'm taking this lightly. I'm not. This is part of us trying to plan our lives. But in some ways, that kind of disability is worse because it would increase our costs. Like, if she became disabled while impacting my ability to focus on my career, right? It's like a double whammy, right? Your costs go up, but then okay, if she can't stay home to take care of the kids, and someone has to take care of her, and it would obviously not be great for a multitude of reasons, but that's one. And the U.S. does have a bit of a Social Security net here called Social Security Disability. The issue in the United States is you have to have a certain number of work credits to be able to claim Social Security Disability. which on the surface seems fair, right? Essentially, what they're trying to prevent is like, hey, I never worked, I never paid a dime into the system. I can't then turn around and go like, oh, hey, look, I'm scamming the system, I'm disabled, please give me money, right? Like without ever contributing to it. And it has rules. Like if you're just starting, you're 19 or whatever, you don't have to have as many work credits. But once you get to a certain age, you need a total of 40 work credits, and 20 of them, so half of them, have to come from the most recent decade, like the most recent, the past 10 years. And you can only earn 4 per year. So essentially, if you worked for 5 years, you could take 5 years off from a work credit standpoint, if that makes sense, right? Because if you work 5 years and you got 4 work credits, it's 20, and it would take 5 years for them to start to roll off. I hope that makes sense. I should probably put a graphic up there, but I honestly don't have time to do that. So essentially, okay, in 10 years, you have to earn 20 work credits minimum. And so she used to work, and she has work credits built up, but they start to roll off against that 20 in the last 10 rule. So that has been the problem we're trying to solve, is like, okay, how do we get her income so that we have that coverage, right? Because if there's a gap, right, like we'd probably have to wait 5 years to fill in that coverage, if that makes sense, right? Because you can't go back and say like, oh, can I get 6 work credits this year to make up for the 2 I missed that I should have had last year? You can't do that. You got to be consistently paying into the system. And a work credit is, quote, only $1,360 in like pre-tax income. And so that is not the reason I have a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel because I love doing it. I think it's a lot of fun. I've kind of gotten to a place mentally this year where I'm like, I'm just going to do things that I like. I don't think we're going to be a 100,000 subscriber channel. But I'd much rather have a very, like, not a very small audience, but a passionate, smaller audience than a larger, not passionate audience. And in doing so, running YouTube, we've formed a business with it. It's not the only thing we do with the business. We also flip some items technologically. We flip some tech items from time to time. Like we'll buy something used and flip it on eBay or something like that. But that's hit or miss. And so with the business and this channel being part of the business, it's split 50-50 with the revenue and income and all that kind of stuff that is generated off of that between me and my wife, because she does do work behind the scenes on the channel and with the other things that we do in the business. All that to say, my friends, we're already 8 minutes in. Good. All that to say, I needed a copyright free image, so why not Liverpool? Hey, that's Mignolet. It's kind of sad. All that to say, my friends, we were at the point this year that we needed to get her 1 credit minimum, a minimum of 1 credit, or she was going to have that gap that would take 5 years to fill in. And because of your incredible support, and I'm like not going to get upset, I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to re-record this, so whatever happens, happens. Because of your incredible support on Patreon, on watching the videos, watching the ads, I had some people earlier in the year kick some money to me via PayPal, people joining the Discord, spreading the word. When 2Game was allowing affiliates with Football Manager creators buying the game through my affiliate link, because of your incredible support, we've been able to hit that 1 work credit this year for her. We've actually been able to sell a couple more tech items. Why do I want to keep saying technological? We've been able to sell a couple more tech items to where I thought it was going to be like really down to the wire. But as of the Patreon income that came in on December 1st, or that like was processed on December 1st, there's more than enough cushion for us to guarantee that we've got that work credit. And I just wanted to say thanks. You have changed my life. You have helped my family avoid my wife having to go get a part-time job, because she already has one, right? And it seems a little unfair. Like I'd like to see the system be different. Like if you have a spouse that works and earns work credits and whatever, then, but I can't change that. What I can do is build a business that helps add some additional income to my family. On top of that, we use the income to like pay for my son's football fees here locally. And I would like to eventually like replace the lights we put together, which is essentially some stuff from like the home improvement store, to light my green screen. I'd like to get a new chair, but like none of that matters. Literally none of that matters until we get that income. And I can't really take any expenses out of the income until like we get to a certain level. So thank you. Like thank you. It's unbelievable to me that this month we hit $300 in Patreon. That is crazy. I hope to continue to grow that, because the challenge we face for next year is we now have to get her 4 work credits. Like this was the year, like anything up like 1 or above from the work credit standpoint would be good. And if we got 2, it'd make it easier next year. But it looks like we're going to end up with just 1. So that means next year, and like for the next 3-4 years, we have to earn 4 work credits for her. What are we doing about that? Not to take up too much of your time, more of your time, but again, thank you for watching. Those of you that are 12 minutes in with us here. So things are hectic right now in my household because FM came out. I had to go to a funeral. I'm a little behind on my series. I've got it recorded. I just haven't got it edited and released. So I'm trying to keep Regina Reborn going. I do have the footage for the U.S. men's national team save. I've just been having some issues with the intro, like getting it to render. So that's the thing. That is coming back. I've kind of significantly dropped the ball there. I'm going to have my first experiment series come out in December because I would like to put out some content while people are on holiday to where they can sit down and do some binge watching and stuff like that and obviously entertain you guys. As part of that, my patrons at the second tier, and if you can check it out in the description below, patreon.com/grayhairgaming. I promise to throw those people into videos. So I'm going to be sending out a message to them here shortly saying, hey, we're going to do the like we did last year and the year before, the 8 or 10 or 11 kids, whatever, 8 kids in 5 continents experiment. We're going to roll that out in December. That's coming. So we're going to keep doing the things that are working, which is creating content on YouTube, being authentic, and obviously working with Patreon. I'm going to try and find other avenues of affiliate revenue, like 2Game and Humble Bundle and Amazon and stuff like that. I'm thinking about putting together something from a website standpoint, to where I could blog a little bit maybe, and as part of that put like links to Amazon on there, so if you do shopping at Amazon it kicks a commission back to me. I'm just being transparent with you. I'm holding nothing back with like our plans. But what's really hectic right now is we're trying to launch a business for my wife. She has an education background and as part of homeschooling has identified a gap where it'd be really nice if there was a content that you could buy in that arena. And so she is currently writing a curriculum, like not like an extensive curriculum, but essentially 15 weekly lessons in a certain area of content. I think it's 15. And I'm in charge of the IT in terms of selling it and having a newsletter and putting together a website and all that kind of stuff. So we're trying to get that launched before Christmas so that people could use the curriculum in the spring, kind of as a tester, right? Not many customers, but testing it, getting feedback, and like really go heavy next fall or over the summer for next fall. So that might be too much detail, but that's a big thing. That's what's kind of going on where I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get content out. I got to work on this other stuff. I got to do my normal job. I got to be like a good dad, those types of things. So that's hopefully going to be a nice revenue stream to kind of get us over the hump next year. Amazon affiliates. I'd love to do some sponsorships. I'm working on with a designer on a new logo My patrons have been great in giving me some feedback on that. And then once we have that settled, we're going to put out some merch. Again, I don't think we're going to have one thing that solves the puzzle in one big chunk. But we're going to chip away at it. You know, you only, what's the phrase? Is this only an American phrase? You eat an elephant one bite at a time. That's a phrase. At least it's a phrase here. I'm curious if people go back, what are you talking about? So all that to say, I feel very thankful. I intended for this to come out on the Patreon had a thank you patrons day on November 19th. And that was literally the day, it was right before I had to go to a funeral. Let's just put it that way. And I intended for it to come out on Thanksgiving. And I just wasn't in the right mental headspace to do that. But I felt not obligated, but almost obligated. Like it may come across, I hope it doesn't, but it may come across as self-serving, because I am trying to say, hey, you know, thanks patrons, because like it's probably been 60% of our income this year from the business standpoint is Patreon. And all that my patrons get is a shout out, and I throw their names into my videos every once in a while as either an experiment or as a youth prospect. That is unbelievable to me. I can't thank you enough for that. I hope to continue to produce content that you find valuable, that you want to support. It really does mean a lot. We have some folks. We have 3 folks. Okay, this video will probably come out one day before the 2-year anniversary for one of them. But we have 3 folks and that have been supporting me 2 years. And that number of people is going to go up. I changed, if you notice here at the end of this video, I changed the end screen on the previous videos to where, like, in yellow or gold, it says 2+ years, but then when I uploaded the video, the box I have pop up with like the next video that you have to have on your end screen covers it up. So I got to figure out how to fit all that stuff in. But no, on the end screen, the folks in red have been supporting me at least a year. The folks in yellow have been supporting me 2 years now. And it just seems, it absolutely blows my mind. I remember sitting down and doing a video like this. It's the video that's on the Patreon page where, like, I didn't have lights. So I had a green screen and it was like a gray box on top of the green, or it was green on top of the gray or something, because I had an issue with my resolution on my camera because I was running a previous version of Windows. And I remember sitting down and being so nervous talking about my goals for the channel and why I was launching a Patreon. And I'll never forget the feeling. And I still hope, you know, I still get this feeling every time I get a notification from Patreon. It's like, oh, someone pledged. I'm like, what are you talking about? So all that to say, I'm sure this comes across a little self-serving, but I felt obligated to say thank you because it is massive. Like, you have literally changed my life, where my wife isn't having to go work a part-time job. And then I'm having to juggle how do you know, getting her to and from the job, all this stuff, right? So thank you. I have lots of plans for 2020, the year, not just FM. I think I'm going to expand into some different areas of content. I'm going to bring back some more consistent U.S. men's national team content. Couldn't get my words functioning. And I think I'm going to dive into Dungeons and Dragons content. Don't worry, Football Manager is not going anywhere. So if that's what you're here for, Football Manager is not going anywhere. That is definitely not going anywhere. With the 2 series thing, I've said this previously, but the dropping the ball in the U.S. men's national team is a symptom of what I've talked about before, where I struggle to run 2 series at once, where it's like different saves versus like a save and an experiment. So that's going to be my mode this year. I'd love to get to 6,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers or whatever, but none of that matters. Today is about saying thank you, and I literally, I'm not gonna get verklempt. Thank you. It really, if you've ever supported me on Patreon and you don't currently, if you've ever watched an ad and you now run an ad blocker, take it off. Whether you're current or not, whether you've shared my links on Twitter, if you've dropped a supportive comment, If you have, I don't know. I can't think straight right now. I just want to say thanks. It's so crazy to me. It's so crazy to me. So I hope to continue to earn your attention in the future. I hope to continue to do a good job. And we'll keep you updated in 2020 as things progress. I think I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to be public about, I intended to have a report ready to show all the things, and I haven't had time to put it together. So I'll probably do one at the end of the year. Once we get the full year wrapped up, maybe we somehow squeeze out a second work credit, which would be incredible. But thank you. It really means a lot. I don't know how to, I didn't think about how to end this. So all this couldn't happen without you. I really love that I get to build something here on YouTube that that other people enjoy and come along with. I hope to have another Erin Go Bra with you in 2020. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. See you then.